Scheepers, and I manage the farms for the Lindale Farming Company Limited. We've got 2 sheds, Bishopdale and Normanton. We got about 550 hectares effective, that's including Forabit, and then we got our own support block called Pembroke, so 220 hectares big. So we are a system 4. We import about 18% of total dry matter intake. We try to stay about in the region of 750 kilos of dry matter per cow. Last season wasn't ideal pasture growth rates, so we ended up feeding about 850. We do about 550 a cow. That's our main aim, but yeah, we try to stay about 750. This season we're going to lower our numbers a bit. We're going to milk 1,800 cows, peak numbers. We're probably going to calf down about 1,870, gives us a bit of culling room. We milk them through 2 sheds, a 60 bale and a 54 bale automatic Waikato rotaries. I got my first cow when I was 5 years old from my uncle. Funny enough, it was an F8 J8 cow called Emma. And then since then the love just, for cows started. I then bought a cow when I was 7 years old with my dad. She was the #1 BVI cow in South Africa. It was the breeding value index there, which we started flushing intensely. And then, so ever since, gone through school, I had a real interest in shows and stuff like that. So I did all my judging courses, and by 16 I was qualified senior judge. So I did a few shows, and been, like they say, been there, done that. But when it came back to the commercial side of cows, that was what really triggered me, as to get the most effective out of them. Then out of school, literally, I wrote on the last exam and I went straight to the farm. Never went to uni, never did nothing, straight into dairying. And what is it now? It's been what, 15 years odd since. When we started farming, like I said, when I was 7 years old, my parents, they did a AI course. I think I was 7. I sat in with them, but obviously I couldn't do it because I couldn't reach the cervix. But then we started using their straws. It was 25 odd years ago. We started using ABS. Ever since, there wasn't a year that we skipped. I would like a cow that's got a width through the muscle, through the head, right through the body, through the rump. She's got to be dead. Smaller in stature, as long as she tracks straight from behind, walking, hind composites, obviously healthy, can't milk a cow that's not healthy. Ideally she would do 5% butterfat, at least 3.7 of protein, get calf, back and calf every year, and at least minimum 110% of body weight. We were used to cows doing not below 120, that is our cow where we start culling them, so that's what we're aiming for now again. Back in South Africa we originally did TMR 3 times a day. We averaged about 1,150 solids a cow, close to 1,200, but that's TMR, I mean everything's controlled. We then turned to pasture-based system, which we were not as fortunate to have ryegrass. It was too warm, so we were on kikuyu and mainly teff, but we still averaged above 800 solids. That's on lower pasture rates, but we were system 5, so we did have maize we used on the shoulders. At the end of the day, you've got to have a healthy cow to milk, so I would say health is probably the most important there, and then production's got to pay the bills, and then conformation. A healthy cow that pays the bills, you could grant that she doesn't have to always be that pretty, but for me that wakes me up in the mornings is to milk a beautiful cow. If you wake up, you might as well do that. There's nothing that annoys me more than milking a cow that's actually she's just not beautiful. I was told once that if you breed for the right type, milk will always follows. I'm still a stern believer in that, so conformation is up there, but I would probably say it's health, production, conformation, if I should rank them. We do use Sexcel. We use it on our heifers the first week. We double PG them. That's our most valuable animals we've got, so we want to get our genetic progress quicker, so we use Sexcel on them. Perfect product. The conceptions we've got is insanely good, and then usually the last 4 weeks it is bulls, but our main aim is, I think from next season we're going to go all AI, Currently our lowest, I would say about 30% of cows are put to beef. The herd does well for what it is. It can definitely be better, way better. That's where we're heading towards. I feel actually that we've reached the peak as to they're not genetically bred to do more than what I'm asking them currently, and that's where my problem is, because as soon as we ask them a bit more, they just blow out. So the 2-year-olds and all the cows that's coming in now, they've got welded on udders and they're pumping, so there's no way that udder is going to go anywhere. And so that's what I would say from the herd, and the young stock, definitely the uniformity that I'm trying to get. Yes, that's my main things I like about it currently. Currently about I would say number one is udders. I can't see the sense of having 2-year-olds carved down. You've gone through all the rearing cost just to carve down an udder blow, where I've never seen a 2-year-old's udder blown. And so udders, and the amount of lame cows we struggle with. I've been on a few farms, and it's just that there's no feet and leg traits. Cows don't track from behind. They just hock in. They tend to be a bit more sickle. That's why we can import bulls that's a bit more posty to suit these systems. So I would say udder, definitely udder's number one, feet and legs number two. Then obviously fertility is one of the main aims, and then mastitis is the other thing. So when we arrived in New Zealand, I came with an open mind as to it is different what I was used to. So we were like, okay, well, I didn't know about what is here genetic wise. I knew all the basic ones would be here anyway, but I ended up with the herds and I started milking the cows, and I was like, I don't enjoy milking these cows. There's nothing to look at. There's no ligaments, there's nothing. Udders blow, cows don't track straight, they don't walk that well. And I started doing my homework and realized that it's all from one background, and I was like, but this is a problem. And my first instinct is, how do I fix this? And what better than with ABS that I've used for all my life so far. I mean, it's reliable, I know it works. We did the production, we did it on worst pastures. It's just simply that. And then when we started going into it and everything, the more I realized that we really need to get reliability back into where we want to breed for. Uniformity, feed conversion efficiencies. These cows are doing, some of these cows did 90%, 80%, even as low as 70% of their body weight. I mean, that's unacceptable. I don't know why they're even in the herd. So we started culling process, everything. We are currently on 100% going upwards. It's like I said, I'm not going to stop before we reach 110, 120%. And I know for a fact, done that, ABS will get me there. The bulls we use currently is top bulls. So it's just a question of time. I would probably say breed what you want, because that's what you're going to sit with every day, that's what you're going to look at every day, but mostly profitable. You hear about so many farms that just simply doesn't make it. Dairy industry is a bit volatile, so try and stay profitable, stay efficient. And then don't focus on too many traits. A lot of people lose focus in the sense of they just want to fix 10 things at one time. Rather work on 2 or 3 traits, concentrate on that, get that constant first, and then concentrate on other traits. Otherwise, your genetic progress is just going to be too slow. Rather use less traits, but do them good. We've used quite a bit of MVP, Commend, Collude, Blisto, Creamer, Avatar, Atrium, Sexcel, all those bulls, and they fit our system perfectly. I don't think, honestly, currently there is any better bull for a pasture-based system than Avatar. If you just look at all his linear traits, he just ticks literally all the boxes. And same with Atrium as well. He's a bit higher in production, but if you use all those bulls, I mean, correctly, you don't even have to use them correctly. It's those kind of bulls that you can just blanket them over everything and you'll be getting bloody good calves out of them. So those are the main bulls I've used now, with ABS. If you go into any search engine on any reputable semen company and you go and actually filter all your search results, and you put in your negative statures and you go into your strength. And as everyone would know, that pasture-based system, we don't want openers. We would rather go to more towards coarse thickness. That'll fit us better. Cows hold on condition a bit more. And if you put in all that positive feet and legs, and you go positive udders, and you put in, say a minimum of 0.3% deviation on fats and protein and DPR above 1, literally 90% of all the bulls that pops up is ABS bulls. So that's one thing that tells me that ABS is literally listening to us farmers as to where we are heading into, what is profitable for us and what is working for our system. So yeah, I can't wait for the bulls to come out, the next ones. I think it's going to be hard to beat the likes of Avatar, Atrium and those ones, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they bring up with. I think they would struggle to get a better lineup of bulls for current pasture systems. Avatar, I mean, he is -2 in stature, he is above 0.2 in fats and protein, his DPR is above 2, he is insane, he's a freak. I don't think you would get a better bull for pasture-based system than Avatar himself. Atrium as well, 0.26 on fat. Creamer, Commend is one of my favourite bulls currently. I've carved down 40 Commends so far. The longest gestation was 5 days short. It's insane. They're all pitch black, beautiful calves. And if you look at the line that is coming out of him, Creamer, Collude, all of those bulls come out of the same cow family. So it's reliability. That's the main thing. Is I know what I get. They've got welded on udders, they're small in stature, so I would say the lineup is, I reckon they did a bloody good job this season as to get pasture based right, and that's the main thing.